Hey guys, I'm the C1235, and I know I'm standing up for this. This is a new setup I'm trying out. It's not the best, so it's a first time thing. Don't worry, the pain's only temporary, at least the pain to your eyes. So I figured I'd bring back a thing I haven't done in around 2 years, since I'm sort of getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh! I've been watching the new anime Arc 5, which is actually pretty good, though the dub is cringeworthy as hell. I think 4Kids has something to do with that. Won't be the first time. So, this will be sort of a sequel or a second follow-up video to, sort of a follow-up video to my one pickups episode where I did Yugi's legendary decks. I would show you the box of the set, but it's being used to hold up that thing right there. But, yeah, I actually made a deck based on Yugi's. It's not the most accurate ever. It has some cards that he got in GX, but we never saw him use, obviously, because, well, we never saw Yugi actually duel in present time. We only saw Yugi duel in the past. Something I would have liked to see, though. Like, the present Yugi and Jaden at the end of the series sort of dueling instead of what they actually did with in the finale with the show. But, yeah, it also does not have the Egyptian gods, and it does not have any of the Exodia cards. I'm only sticking to monsters that he used pretty much throughout that are, you know, pretty much, I'm only using most of the iconic cards and putting them in a deck that I would make. If I were, like, remaking Yugi's deck, this is how I would do it. So it's not a perfect, one-to-one, accurate representation. This probably isn't, I don't know if it's the best deck ever or if it's the best rendition of it. I just wanted to make a deck for fun. That's really all I wanted to do. I do want to do my main deck as its own profile again, but I'm waiting for some of those cards to get to me because I actually did order some of the new Blue Eyes cards and they haven't gotten here just yet. I ordered them like sometime in the middle of the week, so they have to take their time to get here, obviously. So with that said, enjoy my version of Yugi's deck. Alright, sorry about a bit of the shaky cam. I figured I'd put actually the mat here so it'd be a little more interesting than just a wooden table. Anyway, I'm going to be pulling out the cards now. Forgive me if the camera's a little shaky. I'm holding this thing with one hand and holding the cards with another. So, first card, obviously, is Yugi's main one, the Dark Magician. It's the original one. I picked out the original one. You know what? Let me do an overhead shot. Shadows will be in the way, but it'll be a better shot overall. Unless I can move over. This is really something I should probably be editing out. But the Dark Magician. Nothing really more to say. It's the Dark Magician. I'm going to put the cards over there. Next up is the Dark Magician of Chaos. Now, Yugi never actually used this card in particular in the show. Someone actually took Yugi's deck in GX, and that's when it was actually shown off. But it is known that Yugi has it, so I figured it counts. Dark Magician Girl. Figured that one was pretty obvious. One thing I don't get, though, is that card in particular is in the Duelist Kingdom deck, but for some reason he never used it in Duelist Kingdom. So what? He had it? Valkyrion, the Magna Warrior. I don't know why it couldn't have been called Magnet Warrior, but okay, Magna. Regardless, this is probably Yugi's most powerful monster that I've seen. Like, I know he has other monsters as well that are really powerful, but that's probably, like, his most powerful, like, just base attack points-wise. And here's another one of his best. This was, again, only seen in GX, and for some reason it was in the Duelist Kingdom deck when it really shouldn't have been. Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. I remember when this card was freaking banned. It's not banned anymore. I think it's probably because it can now be negated by so many things now, so. Buster Blader. A card that Yugi pretty much only used just so he could take on Kaiba. Summon Skull, which is one of Yugi's more iconic monsters, and was probably the first Red Eyes. Yeah, it was the first Red Eyes fusion. What am I talking about? Archfiend of Gilfer. I don't know if Yugi actually ever used this like as an attacking monster. I don't know if he ever used it because I've never really seen it out. This was in the Battle City deck, but I don't know if did he ever use it, or did he just use its special ability? Okay, well, figured since this is one of them, I might as well show the other ones off. Alright, forgive me, that's Jack's Knight. Obviously. Here it is. King's Knight and Queen's Knight. A wide shot. There we go. Queen's Knight, King's Knight, and Jack's Knight. Not the best cards ever. They do thankfully have a fusion. I think they have a fusion monster now, if I'm not mistaken. Like, if you fuse all three of them of the knights together, you can actually fuse them together now, which definitely makes them better. Because that was one thing. It always seemed like they should make something bigger, but no, it was just really Yugi only used them so he could summon the Egyptian gods. Baphomet. I'm sure we'll see the other one later, called Hunch. And now we get to the other cards. Marshmallow, which no one uses anymore. I think a lot of people like to use this because it couldn't be destroyed by battle. Now no one uses it. And of course, probably his most iconic monster that isn't Dark Magician, Karibo. And the Skilled Magicians, Skilled White Magician and Skilled Dark Magician, which work for Buster Blader and Dark Magician respectively. And now for the Magnet Warriors that make Valkyrion. Beta, Gamma, like Sonic Adventure, and Alpha. There you go. Alpha, Beta, and Gamma. Combine all three of them and you can get Valkyrion, the Magna Warrior. One thing, though, that was weird is that I never really got why they couldn't just be kind of like the XYZ monsters, because Kaiba had those, and they worked like that, so, yeah. But whatever, it's more of a nitpick more than anything else. Celtic Guardian. I do not have obnoxious Celtic Guardian. I'm surprised a lot of the alternative effect monsters, like Swift Gaia, the Fierce Knight, and obnoxious Celtic Guardian weren't a part of the set, considering how often Yugi actually did use them sometimes. Giselle, the king of mythical beasts. Electromagnetic Turtle. This is one of the special cards that came with the set. I put it in here because I do remember Yugi using it quite a bit. And Big Shield Gardena. Really good on defense, but has a terrible effect. And some magic staples. I'm going to need a wide shot for this one, so... Polymerization. Pot of Greed. Yes, I know it's banned, but let's be honest here, Yugi used it a lot. Monster Reborn. Swords of Revealing Light. And Exchange. Just some random spell cards. And there you go. If you're a Yugioh fanatic, you know what all these things do. And here's some Dark Magician support spells. Just some random cards that Yugi used on the Dark Magician. Here they are. Dark Magic Attack, Dark Magic Curtain, 1,000 Knives, and Diffusion Wave Motion, which really isn't a Dark Magician card, but let's be honest here. When you think of a level 7 Magician, you're usually thinking of Dark Magician or one of its forms that may or may not have a higher level than it, like Magician of Black Chaos or Dark Magician of Chaos. So, it can really work with any high-level spellcaster. Emblem of the Dragon Destroyer. This is a card to get Buster Blader out. And Monster Recovery. Yugi used it a couple of times, so I figured I'd put it in here. It's not actually that bad of a card, because it actually gets cards out of your graveyard and you can shuffle your deck again. Defusion. Something that Yugi used a lot of. Dedication Through Light and Darkness. Again, another GX card. This card's useful because it gets Dark Magician of Chaos out really fast. Not to mention, it's also a quick play spell, so you be used on your opponent's turn. So if someone's trying to attack your Dark Magician and it has like fairly high amount of attack, well, Dark Magician of Chaos can actually take its place if you get rid of Dark Magician. Not to mention, you can also get a spell card back quicker, so it leads to its own advantages. Multiply. There is another spell card that Karibo has in it called Detonate. Yugi did not actually have a spell card called Detonate. Really, it was more of a reference to the one thing he did to one of Kaiba's cards in the anime, in the Duelist Kingdom arc. Which was bullshit, but the Duelist Kingdom arc was not exactly known for following the rules. And Magic Formula. That is an equip spell made for Dark Magician. Some trap cards. Mirror Force. Magic Cylinder. Magical Hats. And Spellbinding Circle. I figured I'd lay all 4 of these traps out here because they're really all used for stopping attacks in some way. Well, Spellbinding Circle can be used for other things, but it mostly, let's be honest, it was mostly used in the show for stopping attacks. That's mostly what it was used for. And some other trap cards that can help with Magician's Circle, Dark Renewal, and Black Illusion. All of these cards are actually pretty good. They help with, they give support to Dark Magician and other spellcasters in Yugi's deck. And that's pretty much it for pretty much all the cards in the main deck in general, not just the traps. And now we'll move on to the extra deck. And by God, it is probably one of the hugest extra decks I have ever seen in my life. Like, 2 cards only, and that's it. So we'll just put them both down. Dark Paladin. It's fusion for Buster Blader and Dark Paladin. It's probably one of the best cards to use because it gets rid of a lot of dragon types, and it would just good because dragon is one of the most supported types in the game. Like, every character has at least 1 dragon in their deck. It's ridiculous. Even cards like that really aren't dragon type monsters have some kind of dragon type card to go along with it. Like, for example, the Crystal Beast in Rainbow Dragon. Anyway, and then there's Chimera, the Flying Mythical Beast. Probably the fusion that Yugi used most throughout the show because he had it for more than just one arc, unlike Gaia, the Dragon Champion. And that one's okay. It's okay. I mean, it's nice you can get your Gazelle back, but let's be honest here, there are much better fusions out there. I think Yugi only used it because reasons. I don't know why Yugi used it. Regardless, it's okay. It's not bad. And that's pretty much it. See you guys next time.